Hi guys, happy Tuesday, I think, I don't know, maybe, yeah, happy Tuesday guys. La Santísima Muerte's Day. So, got a little bit of Holy Death, I can't talk, Holy Death bling, honoring her, and we are going to go over the tarot again. So, Ouija boot campers, this is what I want. Well, you guys are already doing this with me. So, if anybody else wants to join in with me, you can do this. Liam, I just like that. I like calling you that. That's a good nickname. It's fucking hot. If you want, so I'm not an expert on Baphomet, not at all. So you obviously know that. So I can't really teach you about Baphomet like somebody said. All you can do is follow along with me and learn with me. So that's the only way I can actually, confer messages and stuff from spirit to you. Channeling like we do every night, which is cool. I mean, it just flows. It's really amazing. Very few people actually get that with me. The channeling that we do, I just start typing and it just comes. It's like a giant flow of energy, and it just makes sense. It's different. So, if you guys want, get, I know almost everybody, 8,000 people on this channel have tarot cards. So I know you guys all have tarot cards. So if you guys want to join with me in doing this, the Major Arcana really is the only, you need the other cards. I mean, you're going to use the other cards eventually. I stick with just the Major. They are straight to the point. They are very accurate, 100% accurate. Yeah. And sadly, yesterday I got the Death card within my tarot reading, which is, change, rebirth. So, just separate them, the 22 from the rest of the cards. Separate them, put them in their own little pouch, baggie, whatever. Yes, I used to drink Crown Royal like crazy, and then I just set them up like that, and you have your Major Arcana. So they are the keys to basically everything, to life. So according to Kabbalah and Hebrew mysticism and actual Judaism, Hebrew, so actual Jews swear by it, the mystic side, the mysticism of Judaism. So yes, just get a journal, a blank journal. What I've done, so I went ahead and I just got that journal like you guys have all seen, the one. It's very small, but it is literally turning into almost a Bible. Not a Bible. I don't know. It's just turning into a story. So what I do every single day. So yes, you guys all know I named it in Libro Gloria Casa Satini, which is the book of Baphomet. So I didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning. So what I did was I just started out at 9. So last month. So it's been what, two months since I've started working with Baphomet. So I just kind of went through and I wrote just a bunch of the history, a bunch of Baphomet's history, and then I started to do tarot, asking Baphomet for insight or wisdom through the cards for me to help explain itself. And it gets better and better and better after all of this. So yes, I don't know if you want to do that. I always do it tarot wisdom from Baphomet, and then I don't particularly ask any questions. I just have in my mind Baphomet, I ask in my mind, Baphomet, do you have any wisdom that you wish to share with me today? And whatever card I get, I attribute to him. It. So it was pretty cool, very cool. As you do go through with the Major Arcana, it's helpful. It makes you learn all the keys, which are the cards, faster. So every day, every night actually, is what I do. So that is what I do. And then that is just, a little tarot book, or the Baphomet book, or his, Bible. And I really honestly think this is the undocumented story of a baby to be born that will be born soon. A magical baby. A miracle baby. Not because it's, it has to do with Baphomet or the spiritual world or anything, but it's because my darling sister cannot have another kid. But it's looking like she's going to. So yes, I think you will. So yeah, that turned out pretty well. So this is either going to be a very good story of Baphomet's wisdom, or it's going to be a baby book of the miracle child. So I'm not 100% sure. But if you want to do that, guys, you can do that with me. So just separate your cards, cleanse them, whatever, do whatever you want. You can cleanse them. There's no set rules on cleansing your tarot cards. There are so many, like 150,000 million different ways that you ask one person how to cleanse a tarot deck. You're going to get one way. Ask another person, you're going to get another way. Ask 20 people, you're going to have 40 different ways of clearing and cleansing the tarot deck. Sage them. Just sage them. Put a crystal on them. Program your quartz crystal. Put it in your right hand, which is your projective hand. You project with this hand. You receive this with your left. Or, if you're left-hand path, you will push, or you will project with your left hand, which I do sometimes, both hands, and the thumbs actually have chakras in them. So the thumbs are very important. Where was I going with this? I don't know. But yes. So yes, just on with the tarot. On with this tarot. I just thought it was really cool that just everything that is leading up to from when I started to now. It literally is a story. It is telling me my own story. So, it's pretty cool. It's pretty freaking amazing. So either you'll do it, and you'll have a really good story of your life, of your spiritual progression, which you can track, which is a very good idea. Wow. Yeah, I dumped amber. I spilled amber oil all over myself. It smells amazing, but it's a little too strong. So you'll either have a very good story of your spiritual progression, and you will learn, obviously, through the repetition of pulling the cards from the major. You will learn. So literally, those are the keys to Hermeticism. Literally. So, it's just, I'm finding these to be, through the decades, I hate to say that, through the decades of using tarot and Ouija, geez, I feel old now. They have taken on different meanings every single time. I've learned from them. They're amazing. Some people will tell you I will confess, I did say that you cannot predict death with the tarot. I was completely wrong. Very wrong. You can predict death with the tarot. So I was 100% wrong, and I'm sorry that I, said that to anybody. Because you can. I've experienced it twice now for myself. Twice. And it's not a fun feeling. It's not a good feeling to feel. So, but it doesn't come up with the death card. That's just change. So that was my card last night. I'm obviously very well alive today, not dead yet. So, alright, Justice. So, this card, Jill 6, my tattooed savior. You can see her behind me. She's right beside Call Girl, and she's in between Call Girl and the 10. So that's my darling savior, Jill 6. And then below that is another picture of Jill 6. So, this card looks exactly like her. A gorgeous, beautiful gothic woman. So this is Justice. That is Justice. So it's night and day. You can see how the traditional blindfold. Nope. Nothing traditional about this card from the Rider-Waite. So, what do we have in Justice? Justice is neutral, just as nature is. So, Justice. And that's the 8th card. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, Justice. So, alright. The cloak of justice spreads over the starry sky, in which are the yin-yang sign, and a scale. So on either side are day and night. A tower rises behind. So that is just the synthesis, the little snapshot of the entire card. So, okay, justice within the cosmos. Alright, Libra, the sign of the zodiac, whose sigil is at the base of the scale. So, that is at the very base of the scale. So if you guys can see it, I'm not sure. You have the upside down triangle with the right side up black triangle inside, and then you have the right side up triangle with the upside down triangle inside, which is black. So, I don't know if you guys can see that sigil for Libra. So, yes, of the scale, whose sigil is at the base of the scale. It begins at the autumn equinox. So that is the card I actually pulled on the autumn equinox. So I can go back into my my tarot diary, journal, book of shadows, grimoire, whatever you want to call it. Baphomet's book, actually. And that is the card that I pulled on the autumn equinox for the day, oddly enough. So, it begins at the autumn equinox, when day and night are of equal length. So, it is the time of year when the abundance of the living earth is celebrated in harvest. So, and it's continuing. Where'd I go? So yes, earth is celebrated in harvest. It is the time when many animals and plants bank down their life forces in preparation for winter. So, the picture of day and night symbolize the equilibrium of nature following the lovers' union, the lovers being union of any kind, and the chariot, which is change. You are the chariot. You're in control, you make the changes. So, justice shows the animate and inanimate forces of nature in equilibrium. So, very interesting. Can relate it to Baphomet. You can relate it to Santissima Muerte. The scales represent, she has her scales. She has the night, the dark. She's neutral. So that could be La Santissima Muerte as well. But I really honestly think that she is through the deck, the entire deck. You can find bits and pieces of her, or Holy Death, whatever you want to put on death itself. Okay, justice within the human community. So the crucial factor in any justice system is the protection of individual rights without sacrifice of the society. So, impartially demands that the justice system see through bigotry, favoritism by class, the rigid status quo, legal loopholes, and security demands made by the state. So the figure of the justice in the Cosmic Tarot is without the traditional blindfold. So she has no blindfold. Her eyes are radiant with the ability to pierce darkness and reveal truth. So you can equate that with Lucifer as well. Or Sophia. Some people say, or now I'm hearing that Lucifer is female, and it's actually Sophia that fell, and not Lucifer. crazy stuff you hear. So, Justice in the Cosmic Tarot lacks the traditional sword as well. So she has no sword. True justice is neither a cruel weapon used by the state to destroy opposition, nor a door to crime and anarchy. So, the tool of justice is a scale that rises from the divine rose of compassion. A lot of something similar in that card. So, reflecting care for the defendant as well as the prosecutor, and the balance of individual rights and social stability. So, the tower that illuminates her crown is a prison for evildoers and a bulwark against human rights abuses. So, we can see a lot of today's problems with social injustices, bigotry, favoritism, everything that's going on within the world is pretty much summed up within the Justice card of the Cosmic Tarot. So, another facet of justice deriving from the rule of Libra is diplomacy. Negotiations, peace talks, arbitrations, ambassadors and embassies, and the United Nations are all in her care. So, whatever deity you attribute to the Tarot of Justice, there you go. You can call on her for that, for any kind of social injustices, any kind of hate crimes, all of that. So she is working for us, to help us. So that is just my interpretation. Wow, am I freaking hot? Yeah, this thing is very warm. There we go. I don't care how stupid I look. Alright, justice within us, ourselves, the individual. So the pans of the scale of justice weigh 2 red triangles. The upward pointing triangle symbolizes intangible spirit. So that would be, you can't touch it. The divine, the all. The downward pointing triangle symbolizes the body and all matter that keeps us as incarnate beings, attached to earthly existence. So each red triangle is invested with a black triangle. As each half of the yin-yang circle is invested with its opposite. So, all-inclusiveness. She does not leave anybody out. Alright, the image describes our individuality, which is generated by a dualistic outlook of the me and the you, which is in psychology. So, very psychological. And our unity with what is all around us. So, selfishness and compassion are implicit. The pans are in perfect equilibrium, or they should be. A rose, symbol of physical passion and divine love, supports the scale. The dualism of unity of justice illustrates the inner person and also the individual relating to others. So you can find a lot out just by one single little card, which is amazing. So, Libra, the sign of the scales, is ruled by the planet of love, Venus, and so is considered one of the more sociable signs of the zodiac. Charm, good looks, diplomacy, and affability are considered. Libran qualities, romance, courtship, and romantic intrigue are favored activities. So, you can find that within female or male Libran. So, the wish for equilibrium is foremost. So, that is what that card is all about, is equilibrium, balance, everybody being treated equally. So, Libra's judge, weigh, and evaluate, blah, 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 indecision or vacillation, and may result from the wish to consider all sides of story. Justice can indicate a decision or more procrastination. So, When the verdict is finally delivered, it will be fair. The process may be uncomfortable, especially to the party who feels cheated of a favorable outcome. So, pretty good card. I mean, it's a very good card. So we can see within that all of her amazing attributes. All of the amazingness, all inclusiveness. You see nature, you see all of it, which is amazing. That's why I love this card. So justice. Okay, now we have the Hermit. If I can find the Hermit. Completely different. Completely different. So much is going on within this card. It is incredible. And this is basically for Virgos. So my Virgos, this is our card. You can see on his scarf the sign for Virgo, which is amazing. Okay, so the Hermit, a man, flowing hair and a beard, is in a yoga posture under a flowering tree. So if you really wanted to go into this, you could look at the posture, what it means, so on, word association, analogy. On his scarf is the symbol of Jupiter, the planet ruling philosophy. So, the symbol of the sun, light of knowledge, and the symbol of the astrological sign Virgo. So the moon rises and a star drops light to where another star lies hidden by the mountains. So, a lamp sheds starry light at the Hermit's feet. A pink flower grows, and a night bird looks on. Okay, so immediately, Stevie Nicks, that card, just immediately I thought was Stevie Nicks about her entire processing, or her methodology behind how she writes her music, her methodology behind her spirituality, which could be completely right. I don't know her personally, so where do we go? Okay, so the Hermit within the cosmos. So the cosmic meaning of this card for us. So the Sanskrit letter on the headband of the Hermit spells Om, O-M, and you guys know that. So the most powerful and mysterious mantra of Hindus and Buddhists. Om has no semantic meaning. It is the pure sound that vibrates between the material world and the spirit. So it is nothing and everything. Who is nothing and everything? Source, God, Goddess, Spirit, Baphomet. Alright. The person who chants the mantra imbues it with significance through meditation, study, and devotion. So you actually imbue. I can't vibrate today. So you're going to actually imbue that mantra with what you desire. So, where'd I go? So yeah, it is the pure sound. So, Om expresses in sound the oneness of the universe. So, it's a very spiritual card. A very spiritual card. So, the Hermit within our community, within the human community, for everybody. So, the reclusive Hermit is not part of the world at large. He is the individual teachers encountered in life. So his influence in society is made indirectly through his students. So inevitably, the Hermit's teachings will be institutionalized by his followers as a church, an academic institution, or a government. At that point, they are something altogether different from the teachings received directly from the Hermit. As different as the Hermit is from the Hierophant, the Hermit himself stays the same, whatever riches or prestige comes his way. He is real, not a charlatan, or an ego-tripper. So, now the lamp that shines with the teachings that the Hermit has received in his turn, without teachers, gurus, ministers, parents, siblings, school teachers, elder or younger friends, humans have no means to follow the way of truth. Exactly. The Hermit represents the flow of ethics, wisdom, and knowledge from one person to another, from generation to generation. So he is both student and the teacher. Does that sound like any Virgos? Does that sound like Virgos, guys? Alright, so the hermit within ourselves, the individual. So the hermit is a solitary, studious, disciplined person. He is reserved and has a somber demeanor, possibly serene or possibly even severe. So he may live alone, though his integrity does not hinge on solitude. The hermit can be eclectic to the point of eccentricity. Maybe me. I don't know. Probably. Or he can be fanatically single-minded. His nature is firm. Though not rigid, he remains true to his path. Unswayed by the fortunes of life, unimpressed by his own accomplishments, he considers everything a gift from his teachers. I do that. I don't contribute anything to myself. I contribute everything that I have learned to my teachers. Basically, yes. To spirit, to source, to Baphomet. Literally to my therapists. I even told my therapist that yesterday. So, alright, the scarf of the hermit's left arm has on it the sigil of Virgo. Yep, the left arm. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's tied around. You can just barely see it. It looks like the Virgo tattoo. So yes, I do have. With Santissima Muerte, yes, praying the rosary is a must. She is Catholic. To clear that question up. Alright, so the Virgin who rules the sign of Virgo with the planet Mercury symbolizes chastity and conservation together with abundance. Libra follows Virgo in the zodiac and weighs the gathered harvest. Foot is going to sleep. So, weighs the gathered harvest. In Virgo, the corn is still on the stalk, the wheat in the ear, and all is ripe and yet unexploited. So, the solitary hermit, he conserves the energies of his body as fuel for his spiritual journey. He teaches us prudence with material resources and with our bodies and our minds. So, the hermit can indicate a fruitful period of study, meditation, and contemplation, or a change to a more quiet lifestyle, which is good. Alright, so in a negative sense, though, the hermit may warn of alienation, withdrawal from people, depression, emotional numbness, and even paranoia. So that kind of goes along with Virgo, the negative traits of the Virgo, which I am very guilty of. Very guilty of. That represents social anxiety, phobias, to me. Alright, the Wheel of Fortune. If I can find it. I did go through all my cards last night and I found them all. It's probably the very last card. No, it's not. Alright, the Wheel of Fortune has the Tree of Life in it. So much. It has the Tree of Life. It has all the Sephiras and Sephirots, however you say that word. It has everything. It has all the signs of the zodiac. It has everything within the human body, because the Tree of Life corresponds to points, energy points within our body. So I don't know if you can see it too well. So that is the Wheel of Fortune in the Cosmic Tarot. And on the front, what do you see? Lots. A lot. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. A network of circles, squares, and triangles turns in the cosmos. So, very true, very amazing. I love this. I love this. This is great. And yeah, I am kind of in a hurry. So, a network of circles, squares, and triangles turns in the cosmos. The symbolic design resembles clockworks. The Wheel of Fortune is one of 3 cards in the major arcana that does not show a human figure. So, the other 2 are Death and the Moon. Hence, the wheel does not generally point to a person or any type of person. So, now, the cosmos, the Wheel of Fortune within the cosmos. So the magician, the magical mechanism of our solar system is diagrammed in the Wheel of Fortune. So the center holds the sun, from which radiate, like petals of a flower, the cosmic bodies known to the ancients, from top clockwise. Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Moon, Mercury, and Mars, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto are not included, as they were not discovered until modern times. So we can see that a lot has changed. Alright, next comes the zodiac, from left counterclockwise, the other way around. Wow, where'd I go? Yes, okay, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So now at the top, immediately outside of the zodiac, are Neptune and Uranus. And above these, in the center, is Pluto. So, the 4 corners hold the 4 elements from left to top, clockwise: water, air, earth, and fire. The bottom central orb is the symbol of the unity of the 4 elements and also of the planet Earth. A lot can be learned through meditation with that card. Alright, so, here we go. Wait, did I just read that? Yes. Okay, so together the yellow orbs of the planets from the diagram of the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. The Hebrew word near Pluto at the top reads Kether. So, Kether, which is the head of the Tree of Life. Kether is the crown of creation, which can be considered as the inspiration of an unknowable, unnameable Godhead. The Hebrew word at the bottom is Malkuth, meaning the kingdom of earth, by which is meant not the element of earth or the planet, but the terrestrial experience, the physical universe, generally from the point of view of the person, of humankind. Ata Malkut. So, the Kabbalah, a system of esoteric teachings rooted in Judaism, is a beautiful and glorious study. Whether one is Jewish, Muslim, or Christian, or even if one follows an Eastern path, it illuminates any religion or philosophy, as well as exalting our intellect, emotions, and senses. So, with the book, that new book, The Ritual and Doctrine of High Magic by Levi, is very Kabbalistic. So what that does, that book, the entire point of that book is to actually illuminate our own paths. So it has illuminated my own path of traditional witchcraft that much more. So, where did I go? Yes, okay. Okay, in a sense, the Kabbalah is like the tantric systems of Hinduism and Buddhism, and a trustworthy teacher is the first thing a would-be student should seek. Common wisdom has it that immature, or solitary student can go mad from studying the Kabbalah without guidance. Just like anything else, you can go crazy and literally drive yourself to madness. Alright, so, where did I go? So, common wisdom has it that the immature or solitary student can go mad. Yeah, we got that. Like Tantra, the study does have a safeguard. Its real secrets can be passed on only by direct transmission, living teacher to living student. So that would be, going back to the book, The Ritual and Doctrine of High Magic, Levi was talking of transference of energy through the wand. There we go. So, the name Kabbalah, after all, is from Hebrew word Kabbalah, to receive. So, the tree of life pictured on the wheel of fortune expresses symbolically the inspiration of the ineffable, one mind or God's thought moving through different modes of potential emanations. So, and finally, manifesting in the diversity of material being. So, very amazing. Very amazing. So, where'd I go? Okay. This operation is both pollution and exaltation. Flesh binds the spirit. Our bodies bind us. So the spirit inspires the flesh. It is through movement on the tree, not through stasis, that we express our divine humanity. The tree is a scheme, a ladder, or, as it were, that can help human faculties connect with God, Source, Goddess, Spirit, whatever you want to call it. So, it's pretty good. Pretty good card. So now, the Wheel of Fortune within the human community. So for just basically everybody. For centuries, the Wheel of Fortune was illustrated by a medieval image. A wheel to which are bound 4 kings is turned by the blindfolded goddess of fortune. The king at the top of the wheel blithely says, "I reign." The king at the bottom bears the wheel on his back and says, "I am without reign." One king ascends, "Hopefully I will reign." Another king descends, "I have reigned." So, the age of reason took a less fatalistic view of government. Humanity would evolve over a time of society of justice, love, and material abundance. Make sense? I hope. So, the United States was formed partially on such an ideal. So, this utopia is a variation on the medieval Christian city of God, which, with trust, moved from God to the God-given human qualities of reason and compassion. So, our love, compassion, kindness are divine qualities. Alright, so, where do we go? So, okay, the medieval Wheel of Fortune seems to deny that humankind has any control over its destiny. We do. Yes, we do. To an extent. It indicates that the rise and fall of nations in an inexorable cycle to which all are helplessly bound. Now that is the other Wheel of Fortune. Not this. This is not a traditional Wheel of Fortune card, which I like it. So, we are indeed bound by circumstances of history and nature. We are bound by space and time, the laws of nature. So, but men and women possess the means to better society. Utopian visions can nurture the quest, even if lack of insight of ourselves and the world around us provides a sense that the blind goddess rules our fortunes. Social evolution is a trial and error process. We must learn from our triumphs and from our errors. Very positive card. Very good. It can warn of being too materialistic. Guilty. I mean, we all are. Alright, so, now, the Wheel of Fortune for ourselves, the individual. Now, alright, the Wheel of Fortune can indicate an ecstatic experience of oneness with the universe, and a breakthrough in understanding natural law. So, spiritual life is integrated with worldly activities. So, realization of the impermanent nature of things can bring comfort, or it can cause great sadness as well. The wheel can indicate a healing of body and mind. One can feel that one is again behind the wheel, or you're in control of your life. Conversely, the wheel may show stagnation, which can take the form of bad luck, or a sense of being manipulated by circumstances. So, very good card. Yes, we have many Hebrew, yes, we have lots of Hebrew writing. Oh, hiccup. You guys can see that, hopefully. The Hebrew writing there. There's Hebrew writing in each of the sephiras, the circles. Alright, now we have strength. Shoot. There we go. Strength. Totally different. So, those marks on her head are the trident of Shiva. So, that is strength. Now, a woman holds a magic cloth. What kind of magic cloth? It would be a shield. What we put up around ourselves. Alright. That mirrors a lion. The sun is at her crown. The lush, brilliant landscape is threatened by a smoldering volcano. So, now, strength within the cosmos. So the trident and the white stripes on the lion's head indicate devotion to Shiva. So, the Hindu god Shiva personifies destruction and reproduction, part of the trinity of the Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, and the preserver. So, the object commonly worshipped as embodying Shiva is the lingam, which represents Shiva's energy as well as his ultimate formlessness. Are we seeing a pattern? Are we seeing a pattern here? Strength is energy that is available without discrimination or judgment to creative as well as annihilating forces. The woman's forehead is marked with the lines that denote devotion to Vishnu, the preserver. Maintaining is another form of strength. So, strength comes in many forms. Alright, now, strength within the human community. The image of the naked woman whose only defense, quote, is a cloth on which a lion is pictured reveals one of the basic paradoxes maintained by governments. So, the idea that a show of strength, a standing army, and large arsenals is necessary to maintain peace. So, complete disarmament is to most people the international equivalent of no police. Few are willing to place such trust in our world. That's true too. The extreme show of strength is the armed to the teeth nationalism and an iron police force. Fascism in pre-World War II Europe presented a seductive sense of security amidst the economic woes following World War I and the chaotic transition from monarchy to democracy or communism. Economic and historical or cultural pressures repeatedly draw people all over the world to fascism. Inevitably, the strength extolled by fascists is revealed as brutality. So, the dictator's boot, which was to crush the enemy, crushes the citizens. The invigorating rhetoric of nationalism turns out to be a balloon filled with poison gas. Armies and police must be flexible and fully accountable to the people. The infallible test of strong government is its ability to maintain human rights for all citizens when difficult conditions arise. So, the woman and the lion represent intelligent compassion, clothed with power. The card Strength directs attention to the armed forces and the police, and their degree of strength or weakness. Alright, so, strength within us, the individual. Shiva embraces the energy of the body, or Shakti, represented as a coiled snake, Kundalini, or Organa. The science of Kundalini Yoga is complex, but on one level it involves awakening the natural energy of the body in order to exalt the mind. Like Kabbalistic studies, Kundalini Yoga should not be undertaken casually. The smoldering volcano on the strength card is a hint of the destructive power that can be let loose in the body and psyche of a careless or unprepared student. It is a serious mistake to try to teach oneself Kundalini Yoga, or to place oneself in the hands of an unqualified or unethical teacher. So, the lily at the left of the woman and her nudity indicate that inner purity, unselfishness, is a way of preparing for the rising of the snake of Kundalini. The bright light of the sun behind the woman's head and the rearing snake of her headdress indicate that the woman's energy is flowing freely. So, strength allows feats of physical strength, and it fosters will and charisma. One might be getting in touch with deeper powers, including one's own femininity or masculinity, and this can be a great source of joy, of sudden unexpected popularity. A meeting with a person who is both mysterious and magnetic can take place. So, taken too far, the energy can lead to overindulgence or a hunger for power over others. That becomes narcissism. So if the energy hints at going out of control, the best thing to do is withdraw and rest until the equilibrium is fully regained. So that is, if you are doing a magical operation, you need to proportion how long you did your magical operation, and you need to proportion it to something that you have never done before, or something completely different. So, strength brings determination to recover from mental illness, especially phobias, anxiety, or obsessiveness, or physical illness, especially lingering or chronic conditions, and cardiovascular disease. It is the ability and the science, and the sincere desire to free oneself of addiction. The opportunity is always here. So, a support group is a form of strength in itself and in the courage of the person who admits that he or she needs help. So, strength is, of course, the companion to athlete and exercisers on all levels. The marathon runner, the wheelchair roller, the minnow child who just joined the swim team, and the elder who swims to strengthen an arthritic body can enjoy this card. So strength calls on everyone of all abilities to participate in the joy of physical activity. So, strength also reflects the joy we take in sharing the world with animals, domestic and wild. So, our next card is the Hangman, which is pretty interesting. Give me one sec, guys. Okay. Sorry. Alright, now, the Hangman. Very different card. It's pretty windy. Okay, the Hangman. Let's see if I can find, there it is. Very different. Very different. So, the Hangman. Ouch. Alright, so, in most tarot decks, the Hangman is suspended by a noose. The Cosmic Tarot depicts a youth who hangs, as if by magic or great strength, from the branch of a leafy tree. His hands are folded in prayer, and the moon forms a halo around his head. So the perspective of the picture gives the impression that he is floating in the sky. His hair reaches towards earth, but doesn't quite touch. So look at the card upside down, and the sky resembles an ocean with white caps receding into the distance. pretty cool. Pretty different. Alright. So. Alright, the hangman within the cosmos. So, if the fool is spirit on the edge of manifestation, the formless who precedes or succeeds the dualism of heaven and earth, as said in the description of that of the card, the hangman is spirit amidst manifestation, and he dwells between heaven and earth. He is the fool after the leap from the precipice, long after the leap, after whole universes have come into being. So, very good card. Love this card. The fool is poised between destruction and creation, with no bias or inclination toward either. The hangman dangles between creation and destruction, but because he has been corrupted by matter, the implication is that of movement toward destruction, death, or annihilation. In other words, the hangman is spirit bound by time and place. So, literally, that is us. We are bound by time and space. So, alright, the hangman within the human community. So, once in a while, someone comes along and turns the world upside down. Cough. Political economist Karl Marx, American patriot Thomas Jefferson, and Pure Land Buddhist sage Shinran. Artist Andy Warhol, St. Francis of Assisi, founder of Christian Science Mark Baker Eddy, civil rights leader Martin Luther King, and the radical feminist, self-named revolting hag Mary Dale are a few of those who, like it or not, forced us to look at our lives and our society in a totally new way. So we glorify these diverse men and women, but we also crucify them. So often we martyr them into sainthood. So King was assassinated, Shinran exiled from his own land. Some have thrived in spite of fierce opposition and even ridicule. Their names may be unfamiliar to many, but whether they act politically, artistically, or religiously as individuals or as a group, these extraordinary minds motivate the transitions of human society. I love these cards. Freaking amazing. So, alright now, the hangman as us, the individual, within ourselves. So, why would a young man choose such a deliberately uncomfortable position for his prayers? Anyone who has attempted any kind of spiritual work within or outside of religious tradition, very soon finds that it is uncomfortable. Kneeling or sitting in meditation, fasting, breaking out of worldly routines. All of these devices remove us from our everyday lives. So, as children, we changed our perspective by spinning around and around until we were dizzy drunk, or by hanging upside down from a bar at the playground. Upside down, the world is cosmic and grotesque, or exotic and beautiful. Features that were unnoticed can loom large. So, as adults, we use film, television, books, or drugs to escape from our lives. Unfortunately, grown-ups very quickly become habituated to these activities and are, once again, locked into the mundaneness being evaded. So, we up the dose, look for something new, or settle down into a numb routine. So, religious practice can fall into the same syndrome. The enthusiasm of the convert, the frustration of the novice, the boredom of the senior, those who last endure the ups and downs with equanimity, insight, and the support of friends and teachers are encouraging. Many people favor occasional retreats with or without others as a way to refresh the spirit. So, The hangman dangles all alone between earth and sky. His teacher has brought him this far. Now it is time to go alone. He has temporarily renounced worldly life in favor of prayer and meditation. His face is tranquil, though he has been ravaged by terror at the death of self-driven activity. Depression at the loss of earthly attachments. Elation at being without the weight of daily life, as well as vertigo brought by such weightlessness. Horror in the face of unending loneliness, and bliss in undisturbed solitude. He observes and accepts the flow of emotions with equilibrium. He is tranquil. Concentration is unwavering. So, that is what we can do in the midst of everything that goes on in our lives, the craziness. Focus on the good. See that silver lining. So the hangman's support, the tree grows from the earth, and it enables him to plant his foot in the sky. The dense physical and emotional qualities of earth and the transcending empty qualities of the sky are calmly united in his practice. So that is him. Just that wonderful guy. And then when turned upside down, completely different. It's pretty amazing. I love that. Alright guys. So, we've covered that. We did boot campers. I want you to continue with what you're doing, with the reenactments, with all of that. Imagination, remember, key. Imagination. So keep doing what you're doing because you guys are doing amazing. And tomorrow we will continue with the cards, and tonight I'm going to blog some stuff for you guys so we can kind of do more assignments. Sound good? I hope. Alright guys. I love you all. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the comments, everything. All the love for Chico. So I don't know what's gonna happen. So I don't know. I just don't even want to think about that right now. But alright guys, I will see you tomorrow for Witchy Wednesday. So I love you all the way from Venus. All the way back down. So alright guys. I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good day. If anybody has any information on Sophia, feel free to email me, message me, get a hold of me somehow. So, alright guys, I love you all much, very much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.